tomorrow I actually won't be here because I do have to see my Zumba certificate.
Ah, good.
So no surprises there.
Shabbat shalom.
Because it's, do you know what Zumba is? It's a form of dancing. Yeah. Yeah, but like not like that. No, because a lot of it is like watching a PowerPoint and learning. So like we learn a little bit and then we dance a little bit, and then we learn a little bit and then we dance a little bit. Yeah, but a lot of it is fun dancing. It's all Latin American dancing, like salsa and merengue and tango and actually but sometimes there's flamenco and reggaeton and cumbia. It's really fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Leslie will probably be here soon, and maybe Avi. If you're here, everyone's here, Noah.
Leslie Heeman said she had symphony rehearsal last night. So I think Randy said he's doing the wedding Texas. So I think it might just be me on today. I brought me.
Avarachman Shulch Avdecha Eretzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kmo Aya Yishtachaveh Mul Adarecha Kirav lo yedidutecha Enovetzu v'chol ta'am Adonai Ziv ha'olam Nafshei cholat ahavatecha Hana elna fanala Beharol lanoam ziva Titchazek v'tidrapeh v'haytala sivchat olam v'tikehemu rachamecha Chusna ben aohava Ki ze kama nichsof nichshav Lirot betiferet uzach Anaeli Mahmad libi Husana Ve'al titalam Yadaday, 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 Nefesh Avarachama Shochavtecha Eretzonecha. Bryn, is your mic on?
I believe it is, Rabbi Daniel.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Is everyone else feeling the weight of the world this week, too? Thank you. Thank you. It was really a nice night last night. And we're exhausted. Oh, my God. So the whole idea of Shabbos, we get it wrong when we talk about Shabbos being a day when we don't work. The English word work we think of as being sort of labor, the things we have to do that we don't want to do, the things that people pay us for or uts us to do or nudge us to do, or the dishes waiting for us. But in Hebrew, Shabbos isn't about labor. It's about the weight of the world. That Shabbos is 25 hours a week where we're supposed to just pause, not see ourselves as the creator of existence, not see ourselves as the master of our environment, but just to be. So whatever this week has been, whatever we are holding on to, schmutz in our personal lives, schmutz at work, schmutz in our relationships, the schmutz in the Middle East and the Middle West. We take a moment just to exhale, to let it go. Not to pretend that it doesn't exist. Take a moment and not be in control. To not be focused on how we're going to fix, but just to be. So that those other 6 days, the work of Tikkun Olam, the work to bring repair to the brokenness, we can come to it Shavat Vayinafash, as the liturgy says, with a new breath and a new life. yay, day, 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 yay, day, day. Yay, day, 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 yay, day, day. Yay, day, 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 yay, day, yay. Yay, day, yay, 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 day, day, day. Yay, day, 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 yay, day, day. Yay, day, 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 yay, day, day. Yay, day, day, yay, day. Yay, day, day, yay. Yay, day, day, yay, day, yay. Yay, day, day, yay, day, yay. Yay, day, day, yay, day. Yay, day, yay, yay. Yay, day, day, yay, day, yay. Yay, day, yay, day, yay. Yay, day, yay, day. Yay, day, yay, yay. Oh, well, good Shabbos again, everyone. I don't know about you, a little nigun, it actually makes me feel a little lighter. So we welcome Shabbos. We welcome Shabbos. Page 6. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי שלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי We welcome the angels of Shabbos, and we look around, and all of a sudden, everyone's here. So speaking of the angels of Shabbos, take a moment just to say hi to the people around you, to welcome, particularly if they're a newer face or if you don't know them. We're going to light the candles now. Thank you. You want to come light them for us? Come on up. It's actually Adding candles to the Shabbat service is relatively recent in the Jewish world, like 300 years old or something, which really, like we say jokingly, but it really is kind of recent in the Jewish world. And it was really about guests and folks who would be traveling, who would be in town, who wouldn't have a home to light. And so it became this idea that we light the Shabbos candles collectively. Exhaling all the schmutz we've been holding this week. Taking in the light. Taking in the faith that there can be more light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik nesher Shabbat v'tzivanu lehadlik nesher Shabbat. Turn to page 8. The mystics of Tzfat, refugees from the Iberian Peninsula, the children, the grandchildren of refugees from the Spanish Inquisition. People who had no reason to have faith that the future could be better. And yet every Shabbos, every Friday just before Shabbos, they would dress in white, they would go out to the hills, they'd watch as the sun would go down. They'd imagine themselves a part of a cosmic wedding, where all the dualities began to fade away, all the differences that separated us from them. Chadudi was their poem, their wedding song. And this is what we mean when we say Shabbos is like a wedding. But in the same way that a wedding is a change, we're taking two people and creating one family. But so too, we hope Shabbos can be that. That the world can just be different. Just a little different. Just enough different. Page 8. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemu tiferet ve'litchila u'lecha dodi likras kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela u'lecha dodi likras kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Top of page 9. Likras Shabbat לכוונך, כי מקום הברכה. מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה, והולך דודי לקראת סקלה, בני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי לקראת סקלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, והולך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We turn towards the entrance. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת סקלה, בני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי לקראת סקלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בני שבת נקבלה. בני שבת נקבלה. Standing invites you to remain standing as we turn towards the east. For thousands of years, wherever Jews have been, we have turned towards Jerusalem. There is this midrash that has unfortunately felt appropriate so many times, that said when the whole world was created, there were 10 measures of good and 10 measures of bad. That there were 10 measures of beauty and 10 measures of destruction. That there were 10 measures of joy and 10 measures of sorrow. that for each of these things, the world got one of the measures, and Jerusalem got the other 9. So we turn not towards the Yerushalayim, not towards the Jerusalem, the city, the political entity that is, but towards the Yerushalayim Shalmala, the Jerusalem that could be, the world that could be, a whole world that lives up to Jerusalem's name, because at its core, Yerushalayim means Ir Shalom, the city of peace. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Yairei, Yirei, Maybe seated. Before we can say Shema, the rabbi said we have to hold 2 impossible thoughts at once. First, this idea of our unbearable smallness, of our existential smallness. The exhale. Page 12. We take a moment to consider this world not from our own perspective, from a cosmic perspective, from a divine perspective. I can't stop thinking about this radio wave, this radio signal that we detected. It's 8 billion years old. The picture of the universe 8 billion years ago. Just hitting our eyes right now. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. Second of these contradictory ideas we hold before we say Shema. The idea that no matter who we are, no matter what we have done, no matter who we have been today, this week, we are always deserving of love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we're hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending. Take a moment to cover our eyes, to shut out what separates us, to open our ears, open our hearts. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Turn the page to page 16. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinaltam levanecha v'dibart bam v'shiftecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uvkumecha uksatam leot al yadecha v'hayu latotafo b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem kedoshim leElohechem, Ahani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem leElohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. I know Hanukkah is not even here yet, but we've started thinking already about Purim and Pesach. Don't worry, you don't have to do your Pesach cleaning yet. But I've been thinking about the moralities of these stories, of these holidays. Because at some level, they stand in tension with each other. If you've been to a Purim, perhaps you were too intoxicated by the end to pay attention to the final chapter. I sometimes think that's part of the point. Many of us are familiar with the story of Esther, with Haman trying to wipe us out. Yeah, there you go, right? You got a boo. This attempted genocide. I guess this one's a little different. It's not they tried to kill us, we survived, let's eat. It's really they tried to kill us, we survived, let's drink, but you know. But the final chapter of the book of Esther is a chapter we don't talk about a lot. Because after Haman tries to wipe us out, after Haman tries to genocide us from the land, we go on a murderous rampage ourselves. So we have Purim, the ethic of Purim, of how we respond, of how we protect ourselves in a dangerous, capricious world. And we have the ethic of Pesach. More than any other commandment, we're told that mitzvah of Pesach. You shall not oppress, for you were oppressed. Trick, I think, is at some level to figure out how we hold all of this. How we hold the good and the bad, the messy and the complicated. And then no matter what, we never stop forgetting. Never stop forgetting Haman. And never stop remembering what it was to be vulnerable. What it was to be oppressed. Sometimes it's easier to remember one than the other. Sometimes it's easier to feel one more than the other. I think it's why this mitzvah of Pesach, of always remembering that we were vulnerable and how dare us oppress, is repeated 36 times, more than any other commandment. How do we keep our hearts open enough to break for everyone, even as we live in a world filled with complications? No easy solutions. Va'elim Adonai, page 18. Mi kamocha nera b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malechutecha ra'u v'necha bokeh yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל, גל ישראל. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love, a Sukkot Shalom over all creation, over all creation. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Haskivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Rise as we are able. Page 23, we take a moment for our private prayers, for our personal prayers, the prayers of our hearts. The Amidah goes through page 32, but certainly don't let the words of the page get in the way of the meditations of your heart. We'll begin on page 22 with the Chatzi Kaddish, and if you are standing, you may be seated whenever you are done with the Amidah. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, vimeru, amen. Yehesh meraba mevorach, le'alam alam me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitbarach, v'yiromam, v'yitnaseh, Vietadar, Vietale, Vietala, Shemede Kudasha Barichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'imeru. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Teilatecha.
shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Avinu Shebashamayim Tzu Yisrael v'go halom Avinu Avinu Shebashamayim Tzu Yisrael v'go halom. Pray for the land of Israel and its people. May its borders know peace and its inhabitants tranquility. May all who live there, on whatever side of the border, know peace. May our constant prayer of a Zion once more aglow with the light of goodness, the light of peace, a light of joy, a light where everyone goes to sleep, safe and secure and loved. May the world be more like this soon. We say, Amen. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzu Yisrael v'go halom. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzu Yisrael v'go halom. Invite everyone to rise as you are able. Page 38, Aleinu. Reminder for us that the world as it should be is upon us to create. Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekiru la leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kiguye aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, בשכינתו זו, בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. And if you're standing, you may be seated. I don't know when we started doing it, but Aleinu is a lot better with a beat. It's really... So we take a moment, as we do at the end of every service, to acknowledge those in our community who are in mourning, those that we have an obligation, a sacred obligation to stand with, to walk with, as they walk these paths of sorrow, these steps of grief. And so if you are saying Kaddish right now, whether you are in your year of loss, the immediacy of Shiva, Shloshim, of course we just passed Shloshim for the awful tragedies of October 7th. If you've got a yard site, it's the anniversary of losing someone, or if you're just really missing them today, I invite you to raise a hand or stand up or some other way that we can acknowledge you and hear the names. For your dad, of a blessed memory. What did you say his name was? William. For William. For your parents, for Jack and Lois, of a blessed memory.
My husband's grandparents, Carol and John.
For your grandparents, for Carol and John.
My son, Neil Ashrow.
5 years. 5 years for Neil.
I lost both my parents on July 28th and July 30th within 36 hours. Saul Feinberg and Leah Feinberg.
Oh my God. Awful, awful. May their memories be a blessing for Saul and for Leah.
So I have two websites, one for 59 years for my maternal grandfather, and if there's any Mennonites that are here, he was known as the Candy Man. He would always get out
The Candy Man, what was his name?
Sam Rush.
For Sam. We need to bring this back, by the way. I think someone here at CRCC, my daughter Noah heard Candyman and she came running. Someone needs to self-appoint themselves the Candy Man or Candy Person or Candy Woman or The idea is this, it is a long tradition in synagogues, truly, that there would be someone usually who sits in the back corner, pockets stuffed with candy, and kids who come to services know that all they have to do is go over to the candy person, and there is a Hershey Kiss, or there is a, so that was your Grandpa Sam. Hershey bar, yeah. I think in his memory, you've got to become our candy man.
Probably getting me here on Saturday morning.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm happy to start a fund. If I don't know who to talk to.
You'll be very popular if you're the candy man, yeah.
So it was always Mr. Junior Congregation, it's an institution, and to this day.
Of a blessed memory.
The other one is someone who just had their funeral today, Jeffrey Korn. So, without giving a big long story, I was always the youngest member of a breakfast group at Strauss in 1971.
Wow.
And then when Strauss closed, we moved to Layton's, and when Layton's closed, we moved to First Watch, and First Watch closed in Clayton. It's most everybody in that period of time has passed on. I was always the youngest person, and Jeff was about the last one to think about this for the rest of the day. So I remember Jeffrey Korn.
Of a blessed memory. Thank you for sharing that story. For your Uncle Levi, of a blessed memory. Thank you for sharing his name. Thank you for being here to remember him with us. Oh, I'm sorry, Avi, for your Nona. What was her actual name? Did she have an actual name, or was she just subsumed into Nona? Is this? Lucille. Oh, my grandma was Lucille too. Of a blessed memory for your grandma Lucille, for Nona. Steve, thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. From Israel, first of all, there's been a revision from the Ministry of Defense in the number of people actually killed on October the 7th. The new number is 1,324, a reduction, so that is a blessing. 1,152 victims have been positively identified. 4,385 Israelis have been wounded. There are currently 239 hostages held in Gaza. And there are currently 172 victims who remain unidentified. This week, Daphna Karovich, 46, Ivan Shazar, 46, Vitaly Yuvashenko, Michael Mozerkov, 69, Zohar Meiri, Michael Abramov, Ayala Herzoni, Chaim Ashraf, David Shalev, 75 years old. Sergeant First Class Yonatan Hazor, 22. Sergeant First Class Yaakov Ozeri, 28. Sergeant Elisheva Rose Lubin, 20. Staff Sergeant Shachar Cohen Mitach, 22. Sergeant Yonatan Mamon, 20. Master Sergeant Lior Arzi, 25. Staff Sergeant Yonadev Levenstein, 23. Staff Sergeant Gilad Nitzan, 21. Major Yehuna Natan Cohen, 25. First Sergeant Yehida Eliyahu, 25.
Michael, do we have names from the stream?
Yes, we're remembering Betty Aaron, Janine Milam Haynes, a longtime teacher at Rittner, Raul Pizarro, Dr. Talat Khan, Samantha Wool, Addie Barkin, Baby Beniso, and never mind. But yeah, that's all the names we have.
And for the art sites we have this week from Emil Josephi, Miriam Raskin's grandpa and Susan Spiegel's grandpa. Freda Josephi, their grandmother, Joyce Moore, for Gertrude Irving and Eleanor Isaacs, for Mary Papin and Herbert Stearns, for Jean Baum and Harry Collinger, for Suzanne Glazier, for Neil, for Clifford Reese, for Abe Daniel, for Mert Millman and Sophie Klein, for Riva Kurtzman and Shirley Laxer, for Rose Stein and Zenovi Rochel, for Floyd Dennis, that's Autumn's grandpa, of a blessed memory, for Leo Morris and Vivian Murav, for Ruth Bloomberg and Greg Carlson, for Rose Saxon, Lacey Bernstein's grandma, and for Clara Scheinbart, for Jane Fox and Janet Cunningham, for David Levin, for Judith Coman, Ethel Schwartz, for Becky Alper, for Jack Lumstein. And for those we've lost this last year, for Ann Epstein and Kathy Lass, for Bobby Sparks, for Jay Sommer, for Paul Michel and Jerome Madel, for Marcy Horowitz and Sheila Bess, and Francis Rothschild, for Marsha Wofsy and George Spooner, for Dr. Moisey Shopper, and I think his memorial service is Sunday, is that right? Yes. For Sue Smith, for Matt Blickenstaff, for Linda Randall, Rabbi Randy's mom, for Tovia Siegel, and Susan Hockman, Josette and Jerry Hockman's sister-in-law, thank you. And because we should always include a simcha too, Angela Hockman had her baby today. Beckham, little Beckham. Mom and baby are both doing well. For Sarah Kessler, for Morton Orenstein, for Marlene, for Jeff Japa and Alex Bornstein, for Emil Nathan, for Dennis Epstein and Donna Moog. For all these names, for all these souls, for all these lives, for everyone whose life has been lost over in Israel and in Gaza. We invite everyone to please rise as you are able, page 41. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Uya. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. And we say, Zichronam livracha, may the memories of all of those that we mourn, all of those that we have lost in our world, be a blessing. And we say, Amen. You may be seated if you are standing. We take just a couple moments for some announcements. Maybe. They've reordered all the pages. It's really confusing me. It's, as we mentioned before, the memorial service for Moisey will be on Sunday from 1 to 3 here at CRC. It will also be streamed. Thank you, Michael. Be a menschmaker. For those who don't know, our program for little ones and their adults. This can be a grandparent. It can be an auntie. It can be an adopted, important adult in these kids' lives, whomever it is, a parent. Come together and do social action projects. So Saturday, November 18th is the next one. And there's a note on here to make first responder care packages. So they'll come together then, and then another one in December. Coffee and conversation with Rabbi Susan. The first one is tomorrow in the library at 10 a.m., and she's going to be talking about Hebron. Hebron is maybe the worst place in the occupation in the West Bank, and is also the ancient burial cave of our ancestors, and is mentioned in this week's Torah portion, and is the site of an awful massacre of the ancient Jewish community in the 20s, and is the first place that Jews owned in Israel, that Abraham bought and buried Sarah, so Rabbi Susan's going to be looking at the complexity and the pieces around this. I'll also probably be talking about Hebron a little bit tomorrow in services, but coffee and conversation with Rabbi Susan at 10 o'clock. Winter outreach is happening. We desperately need things for cold weather for folks who don't have a home right now and don't have a place to stay. Jackets and casual men's clothing and belts and snow boots and shoes and underwear and hats and scarves and gloves and blankets and all of these things. Please bring them when you come. The Mitzvah Farm is meeting 3 to 5 on Sundays now to help harvest for Trinity Food Pantry. Lisa, this is the last one, so if you want to get your hands dirty in the garden, this is your last chance this season. Sunday at 3 o'clock. And the classes I teach are ongoing. Tuesday, 5:30, The Story of Us. It's on Zoom, the ongoing story of who the Jewish people have been and the story we tell ourselves about who we have been. Let me give you like one little factoid that'll, I think, help explain this. We all imagine, I think, partially because of Fiddler on the Roof, that 300 years ago, all Jews were like Orthodox Jews today. This is wildly inaccurate. Orthodox Jews are as different from even their fundamentalist ancestors 300 years ago as we are. And those folks were radically different from the Jews who came 300 years before them, who are radically different from the Jews who came 300 years before them, and the stories that we have told ourselves about who we are have always changed. So this is sort of telling the story of how the story we've told ourselves changes through time. It's very meta, if that was not clear. But then also starting this week on Wednesday at 5 o'clock during Hebrew school for 4 weeks in a row, 5 weeks skipping Thanksgiving, but 4 sessions, Rabbi Susan and I are going to do some discussions around Israel and Palestine. So that'll be at 5 o'clock here at CRC. That will not be streamed, but it will be on Zoom. And it will not be recorded either. So it's going to be a mix of teaching as well as breaking out into groups for discussion. So if you join on Zoom, we'll put you into breakout groups from the Zoom for the discussion, but we're really prioritizing in person if we can. But Michael, thank you, Michael, is going to be running the cameras for the Zoom people so that they can get a good view. Anything else? That was a lot of announcements, actually. Yeah. Rabbi Jim, 7 o'clock, thank you. And of course, at noon on Wednesdays, ukulele. I mean, let's talk the important things here. No joke, we do ukulele on Wednesdays on Zoom, so if anyone would like to join or learn ukulele, let us know. Okay, let's give each other a blessing. Come on, Noah. Come on up. No, you're going to hide back. She closed the door and ran back in. Yivirechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May we have a peaceful and stabilizing Shabbat.
Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May you be the light in the darkness.
Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. and most of all, may we be inspired towards peace. May we work to make this world a more peaceful place. May the vulnerable be protected. May our homes be filled with peace, our city, our nation, our entire world this Shabbos. And let us say, Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. Okay, let's do an Adon Olam, shall we? אדון עולם השם הלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לי נשא בחסקו עזר מלך שמו נקרא יאידאי אחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה יאידאי והוא אחד ואין שני להמצילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמזרע והוא אלי וחגואלי וצוחב לי ביצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי ונפקוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקין רוחי ותשען ביעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדון לי ולא ירא יאידאי